Real quick, if you guys haven't already, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, especially if you're a returning viewer. We are so close to hitting that goal of 10,000 subscribers this year, and I cannot wait to reach that goal and to share a surprise with you guys and really kind of just do a quick reminiscent of the journey and what it took to really get here, to be able to gain that trust and support from you guys as I continue to refine my ability to package information and bring it to you guys. So again, I do thank you guys for watching, for paying attention, for listening and supporting. Now let's get into the video. Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video, back here to talk about the Samsung ecosystem heading into 2025. And you're probably noticing that there's one missing, right? And that's because it's always on the wrist, and that is a Galaxy Watch Ultra. Now, for me, this is what let me go ahead and clean the back of it, because, sweaty wrists. Now, with Samsung, their ecosystem and what they provide definitely broadens out beyond our mobile devices, right? So when you think about it, and I technically could, if I had the space, I would throw my Samsung TV in here as well, because I have a 4K TV through Samsung, and you'd be surprised at how well Samsung's products work well with each other from that perspective, being able to easily link from one device to the TV with no problems without even needing Wi-Fi. That's how solid that aspect is, but we'll get to that portion of the video later. This portion is about hardware. And going into 2025, it's pretty interesting to see how Samsung has, to some degree, taken their time entering new spaces when it comes to the hardware. Now, they were relatively quick when it came to the foldable technology, right, with the Z Fold series and the Z Flip series. And now that we got to see teased at the Galaxy Unpacked event this past January 22nd, 2025, we get to see them enter the trifold era of smartphone technology. And that's something that's going to be very exciting, because how does Samsung approach the trifold space? Are they going to approach it similar to Huawei, or are they going to innovate in a different way that maybe we may appreciate a bit more? When it comes to the Flip really revolutionized the smartphone size by being able to flip it closed like a compact little shell, put it in your pocket. It's so much more portable and so much more easy to use in that compact state, including using the front screen when you're just operating in its flipped state, or unflipped state, I should say. So when you talk about the flip technology of the hardware, Samsung has definitely made strides of improvement, but we also have noticed that last year they took a slight curve into kind of plateauing a little bit when it came to their foldable devices. The flips actually were pretty decent, but even so, it was more so from a software perspective as opposed to a hardware perspective, why the Flip 6 made more improvements overall between the Flip 6 and the Fold 6. What we see going into 2025 now is the Galaxy S25 series, and how, again, from a hardware perspective, they're remaining consistent with their hardware design language, but software, again, is the next leap forward for them. The watch segment, when it comes to Samsung and their watches, they've always made ultra-light watches when you go back to the Gear S3 Frontier. And now with the Ultra being bigger, being more robust, they want to enter the more rugged fitness space when it comes to their wearable technologies. And the Ultra fits into that space very, very well. And this is something that they're going to have to really innovate on because of software, because this is kind of like their first time in a while kind of jumping into this space. Granted, we had the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, but it felt like it was more of a name and not function. So what will Samsung do with the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2? And will we see that later on this year when we get the updated Fold and Flip series? And then you have the Buds, the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. This is almost like the trifecta of mobile wearable devices, because you have earbuds, you have your audio, you have your wrist capabilities, and you have your daily driver, all meshed together, being able to work seamlessly with one another, answering phone calls from the phone and still able to take it from your earbuds, to being able to play earbuds straight from the watch if you wanted to, or to the phone or the watch and the phone communicating when it comes to Samsung Health and your fitness tracking. And that's one space I have not been able to talk about yet because I don't have it. And that's really the four-leaf clover of it all, and that's the Galaxy Ring, the ring that you slip on And again, being able to get more accurate, more robust results when it comes to your fitness tracking and how well the Galaxy Ring fits in with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, how they communicate with one another. So that space when it comes to wearable technology, when it comes to fitness tracking, it surprised me, honestly, to see how long it took Samsung to really dive into that market. And I don't know if it was a matter of them testing the waters or seeing if that market had to prove itself. But Aura had definitely shown the want and the need for fitness tracking via smart ring technology. And it took Samsung so long, but it also looks like Samsung may be able to overtake them. And now we see on the other side, Apple potentially also jumping into the smart ring category. So it's interesting to see from that perspective Samsung being late to a hardware space, because Samsung is really known for their hardware prowess. They are very, very good at creating hardware and almost hardware for anything. At one point, remember, they had so many different SKUs of phones. You had the A series, the M series, the S series. I think they had a C series. Now they got a Z series, and they got a Z Flip and a Z Fold. So two completely different types of series of phones. And now we got the trifold coming, which may be called the Samsung Galaxy T. Who knows? Samsung makes an excuse to make hardware, but to see them pause when it came to the smart ring tech is actually interesting to me. But I'm glad that it's here. And with the Galaxy Ring 2, we know rumors are that they're going to make the ring slightly more adjustable to your ring size, where you may not have to jump to a whole nother ring size just in case the current ring size is slightly too small for you. So we're going to see if those rumors prove true or not. But nonetheless, to see Samsung when it comes to hardware and to see how that lines up in 2025 is interesting, because it looks like Samsung's pulling back from the hardware and diving right into the software. And that's where you get the unison, the cohesion amongst Samsung products. Of course, you have the Galaxy Books as well that I have not got to use yet, but they operate similar to how Apple's ecosystem is, right? The laptop is very crucial to having communication between your phone and your buds, and with the smart switch, the buds would travel in between whatever device you're listening to audio from. So again, from a software perspective, they have definitely improved that over the last 2 or 3 years. But software is where Samsung's really starting to hang out at, and how glad are we that they're going to do so? Because remember, at one point, TouchWiz was not that great, and Samsung overhauled their entire software experience with One UI. And we see how pivotal that was when it came to Samsung's technologies, because who would have thought that an update addressing the Galaxy device, such as your phone, would affect your buds, and them not to send an update out to the buds, but to send another update out to the phone to then fix the communication with the buds. That's where we're at when it comes to the sophistication of software, in that they don't always have to send out an update to everything. Send out an update to the main source, which would be your phone, to then fix the issues that they may have actually broke with a previous software update. Now, I've seen in the comment section people talk about Samsung breaks things on, as usual, before the next rollout of phones, but I would slightly disagree. I don't think it has anything to do with the new phones. I think it has everything to do with the new software that's going to release soon. So between readying our software for our devices, such as our phone, for the new One UI firmware update, I think Samsung may break some things here and there and then turn around and fix them real quick, because they're getting our devices ready for that overhaul of software technology, which is One UI 7, one of the biggest changes for One UI in years. And so I think that's what happens when it comes to the software. And you almost really notice it with Apple too now, where Apple has a lot more bugs or breaking of things when it comes to their software updates, which are followed then by software update fixes. And so to see Samsung not fall that hard, but to see them put that effort in is what we wanted to see from Samsung for forever, because Samsung was always lagging behind when it came to software, being one of the last ones to update the devices with the new software update, whether it was the phone, the watch, or whatever software update they needed to send to the buds to take advantage of new features and hardware that they sent to the phones. And so that's where it's so interesting to see how Samsung has came a long way with software, and that they feel so confident now that AI is really the driving force for a lot of their software features and changes now, including potentially having some paid tier at some point, but we don't know what's all that's going to involve. And it could be features that we don't quite use yet, which is what I'm hoping, because most of the features we have now should be free. in my opinion. But Galaxy AI is the new brand within Samsung's world. And you can easily say that Galaxy AI really just overtook Bixby. And you could even say Bixby grew up and evolved into Galaxy AI. And we've got to see AI in action on Samsung devices. Right here with the AI, the sketch to image, which is soon going to be called like AI select or whatever. But as you see, because of the software update, it's got to show me that I can do that. But you can start, you can draw something, you can even get some scribble sound. You hit that AI button to generate, and Galaxy AI is at work, even through One UI 6, which is great, but the official kind of moniker of it, and that looks good. That looks like a wallpaper, to tell you the truth. A good moniker for Galaxy AI is coming for One UI 7. And so I think for me, I really just kind of surprised myself how good that looked. Let me go ahead and say that. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and say that. Let me save this one too. But this is the sophistication of AI and how AI is going to most definitely improve our usability and our productivity with our smart devices. And again, with the phones, AI is able to assist with emails, with text messaging, with photos, with organizing your photos in the gallery app, organizing your thoughts in the Samsung Note app. AI is here to stay, and I also like how Samsung has implemented it within the ecosystem, specifically with their phones, to really get the most out of that AI experience. How will AI affect the smartwatch and the buds? Well, it already has affected the buds via interpreter and via, you could argue with voice controls, but that's less AI. Interpreter, being able to use Galaxy AI and translate language through the buds in real time and have a conversation with somebody speaking a different language. That's how AI has affected the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro and will continue to do so going forward in the future. The one question mark is going to be with the smartwatch, but you can argue AI is assisting with those fitness capabilities and with the fitness tracking, understanding, and with machine learning, how to tweak steps and your aegis index and your body composition, all that fun jazz, trying to calculate calories more accurately over time. Like, AI is involved when it comes to smartwatches in that way, and it's going to be so interesting to see going forward, how does Samsung really put a bow on the software and the AI to create that cohesion that they have with their ecosystem with all of these software developments. So these are my thoughts and comments about Samsung's ecosystem going into 2025, being on the lookout for the trifold. Will we get the Ultra Watch 2, and what does that look like? Do we get another pair of buds, or do we just see some major software updates that really refine and enhance the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro? How does the Samsung S25 series roll out? How does that do? How does that compare when it comes to the S24? Has the slab for Samsung finally reached its ultimate peak plateau, and they start diving into more of the folds and more of other design languages for smartphones like rollable phones? That's something that we're going to have to be on the lookout for, not just in 2025, but even in 2026 going forward. Will we see the Galaxy Ring 2 this year with all of its changes? The comment section is open for discussion, and Samsung's world is endless with possibilities. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this turns out for Samsung's ecosystem. But again, the comment section is open for discussion. Let me know what you guys' thoughts and opinions about Samsung. How long have you been with Samsung? What are some of the products that you remember that you used that are your favorites? I know one of my favorite Samsung products is the Samsung Galaxy S10e. My favorite device by far. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It's all free. That way you never miss our videos, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super things button down there by the like and dislike button, Cash App or PayPal, and check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's way to keep tech fresh and alive on this channel. It's your man Micah signing out, and until the next video, wait for it.